Hi everyone, this week's Parsha is Parshat Shemini. And in this week's Parsha, we have the famous episode of Nadav and Avihu, two of the four sons of Aaron, that go into the Kodesh HaKodashim, the Holy of Holies, and they bring this Eish Zara, this strange foreign flame, which ends up consuming them, and they end up dying. And there's a very big question here on, what's this episode really all about? Did Nadav and Avihu, the sons of Aaron, have good intentions bringing this strange flame in? Did they have bad intentions? What's going on here? And then immediately following that, you have some dialogue between Moshe and Aaron's other two sons. And then we just go in for the rest of the parsha and talk about the laws of kashrut. So, what's going on here? So I heard a phenomenal thought from Rav Jonathan Sachs on the matter here. And he says, really, regardless of whether the intentions of Nadav and Avihu were good or bad or what's going on, we're learning something about the role of Kohanim, of priests here. That throughout Jewish history, we see Jewish leaders and kings specifically, take spontaneous actions to enact some change based on, the situation that they're going through. For example, Moshe sees the Jews worshiping the golden calf, and he proceeds to then smash the Ten Commandments as an act out of spontaneously. He that's his decision, and it enacts change. So too by David Melech, King David, he breaks out in dancing when the Aaron goes into Yerushalayim later on in Tanakh. So we see these Jewish leaders take these acts of spontaneity to really accomplish something. But that's not the case with Kohanim. We see here, specifically with Nadav and Avihu, they take this act that maybe it could have been justifiable. They were really feeling good and wanted to give an extra korban. They wanted to go above and beyond. But that's not the role of Kohanim. The role of Kohanim, according to Rabbi Sachs, is to be the peacekeepers, to really draw the limits, the boundaries for the Jewish people. And I think my thought is that is so appropriate to immediately be followed by the laws of kashrut, because today you don't mess with the laws of kashrut. How do we know the laws of kashrut? Because exactly what it says in those following psukim, the following verses about animals that chew their cud, that have split hooves, fish with fins and scales, right? Very specific birds. We don't mess with those laws. That's keeping the peace, right? Hashem told us specifically what it is. So I think there's a very appropriate message from all of this, really from this parsha, about keeping the peace. For all of us today, that there are some points in our life where we think that, we need to enact change. We need to be spontaneous to change things up some bit. But that's not always the case, as we're seeing with this week's parsha. So my bracha to everyone this week is that we're really able to look at situations critically and tell ourselves, should I be a peacekeeper here and stick to what I know? And what in a Torah case, what's right? Or am I in a position like Moshe, like David, like Jewish leaders throughout history, where I need to enact some change? And with that, I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom.